before. Is that okay?
I think so.
Okay, Joe, go ahead. Try that out.
It depends what Joe asks, whether it's okay.
Yeah, you can. If you don't like the question, you can say, "Well, I don't." Yeah, no. Hey, Warren, you know I'm jealous of you.
I'm already practicing.
Yeah, exactly. You know I'm jealous, envious. But I see sometimes I see you do things where, I mean, I would if I could buy Flying J, I wouldn't care if I ever made any money. I would just like to own Flying J. I'd like to own. Do you ever do things just because you can? I mean, are you going to make money on this or? I like you Dairy Queen. You buy Dairy Queen. I don't think you're trying to make money there. You like Dairy Queen. What about See's Candies? You like See's Candies. And I want to own, why Flying J's? I love those places. There's showers, there's restaurants, you're out on the road. You're like a cowboy and with the truckers and everything. You do things just because you can, I think, right?
Well, Joe, if you feel that way, bring money. I'll send you a map of all the locations, and you're our kind of guy.
Aren't those? You've stopped there, right? Becky, have you been in a Flying J? I mean, there's a lot of times.
I have. I've been in plenty of them.
It's like an oasis.
There's one right on the interchange where you get off 295 in New Jersey and get on to exit 7, and there's one right there. But I was just talking to the Flying J CEO, the Pilot Flying J CEO, who happens to be here and will be our guest in the next block.
He just buys cool things.
About all the ones out to Indiana and back.
So my question is, does it have to be a good investment, Warren, or you just buy whatever the hell you want because you like it?
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. I do like the products of virtually all our companies. I suppose if we ever bought a funeral parlor or something, I wouldn't be as enthused. But generally speaking, I like our products. So, I kind of like good economics to go along with them too.
No, you do. I mean, obviously, you've been. How smart are you in terms of how profitable is like Geico? I mean, you got an eye for things that are really, really profitable. But there are times where I just wish I had a lot of money. I'd just say, you know what, I really like that place. And remember that guy, Victor Kiam? I liked it so much, he bought the razors because he liked the way they shaped. Maybe when you get to a certain point, you just do that,
Well, if you do it, you do it with your own money and not Berkshire's. But I wouldn't argue against that. I mean, if you have a lot of money and there's something you like and it isn't profitable, you buy it, but you don't buy it with Berkshire's money. You buy it with your own money.
Most of Berkshire you own anyway, Buffett. What are you talking about? How much of Berkshire is yours?
Every single share is going to be given away. And
I know. I know. But it's fun. You get to do cool things.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. That was my point.
Absolutely. I mean, the high point are bricks, Joe. I sent you a brick.
I know you did. I know you did.
I've never wanted to say this publicly, but you really not showing the proper appreciation.
No, I know. Thank you. It was not, you own NetJets, and you didn't. I've asked for one of those little. It would really break the bank if you send me a few hours on a NetJet plane. Would it? You sent me a brick instead.
Well, I didn't get any response from the brick, so maybe I'll try a NetJets.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Can I get?
I know. Yeah, I can't see your face. But
I think you did send me one.
It just had nothing.
It just had my name, but it was not good for anything. It was like one of those, like a Taco Bell card that's been all used up. Anyway. Sorry. Thanks, Beck.
I do have Dairy Queen cards.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to be back in just a moment. We're going to take a very quick break here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Squawk Box. We are live in Omaha, Nebraska this morning with two special guests. We already introduced you to Warren Buffett, who's the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. But joining us right now is Jimmy Haslam. He is the CEO of Pilot Flying J. And just this morning, in the last 15, 20 minutes, there was a deal that was announced that Berkshire Hathaway is buying a 39.6% stake in Pilot Flying J. Jimmy, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us on, Becky.
So how did this deal come together? What happened? Explain. How did you two meet?
No, you do it, Jimmy.
We have a mutual friend, Byron Trott, who Warren has actually known longer than we have, and Byron's company, BDT, owns 5% of our company, and he introduced the two of us back in May, and over the last several months we're able to put together a deal that we think makes a lot of sense for both companies.
Let's talk through that deal. A 39.6% stake that will then go to an 80% stake in the year 2023. Why that structure?
Yeah, I think it's 38.6.
Yes, 38.6.
But I'd be glad to make it 39.
You negotiated hard for 39.6.
So why set up that structure? I mean, Warren, this is not a situation where you're short of cash.
Well, we've set up a lot of different structures that fit what the managing party would like to have. And, with the Bumpkins, we did it in 1983. It's the same structure. So their situation in terms of their family and their partnership and everything made this logical. And we have this two-step arrangement. And we've had other two-step arrangements. At Marmon, with the Pritzker family, we had a three-step arrangement.
Sure.
So we try to fit what the seller would like. And, with families and everything, you can have different arrangements.
Jimmy, this is a situation where this is a family-run company for almost 60 years. We're talking about the number 15 on Forbes' list of private companies in terms of size, 750 retail locations in 44 states. Some of the net metrics are pretty amazing. Fourth largest tanker fleet in the nation, just by what you're sending around to make sure you have enough fuel at all those stops. Talk about the company, how you built it, and why make this transition?
It's like a lot of companies Warren has bought. It's a family-owned, family-run company. Started by my dad in 1958 with one gas station. We've changed over the years. Gas stations, C-stores, truck stops, and we're now a huge distributor of fuel, gasoline and diesel fuel. We sell more diesel fuel over the road than anybody in the United States, and it's a big logistics company. Every 22 seconds, we drop a load of petroleum somewhere in the United States or Canada at one of our stops. Also a big food company. We'll sell over $1 billion in food and over $2 billion retail this year.
Wow.
We're in 44 states and U.S. and Canada.
Well, you must have a pretty good idea of what's happening in the U.S. economy at any given point, given some of those metrics. How
Warren and I were talking earlier. I think we'd say it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Particularly strong in Florida, particularly strong in California, and of course Texas with the return of the oil boom and fracking is really strong. So it's certainly better than it was several years ago.
Two of the states that you just mentioned are states that have just been hit pretty hard by the hurricanes that came through. Do you see a blip on the screen for that? Is it something that's picking up, or how do you measure that?
Hurricanes are obviously very unfortunate for the people involved. From a business standpoint, it does create more business. There are homes that need to be rebuilt. There's new cars being sold, et cetera. So our business is up substantially in both Florida and in Texas.
Wow. Why does Berkshire seem like a good fit for you?
Long-term investor. I think I'm right, Warren. Of the companies you bought, not equities, I don't think you've ever sold one. I think you told us. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So,
yeah.
Long-term investor, hands off. He truly wants us to run the company, wants us to maintain the culture, and of course, if there is an opportunity for us to grow the company substantially, he's got plenty of capital. So it's just a marriage that we thought made a lot of sense.
Jimmy's based in Knoxville, and we bought another company in Knoxville 14 years ago, Clayton Homes. Their employment has gone from 5,000 to 16,000, and they've seen me exactly once. They might have done better if I hadn't gone down to one time, but Jimmy knows, and the families know each other, and so they've had a chance to check and see exactly how much we do interfere with operations. And truth is, I wouldn't know how to build a manufactured home or a travel center. We depend on management.
Right. Jimmy, you have seen some pretty phenomenal growth. I think you increased the number of stores you've had in the last 2 years by 10%. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've been a growth company, like I said, from the get-go, and we have a pretty large market position now, but we're always looking for opportunities, Becky, to grow either organically, to buy a single stop, or last year we partnered with Marathon Petroleum on 41 stops in the Southeast. So over the last couple of years, we've added 71 stops and still think there's an opportunity to continue to grow the company.
Where are you not right now that you'd like to be?
We're in 44 states. We're not in Alaska and Hawaii and some of the northeastern states that are small or tough to get in from a truck stop standpoint. So I think the growth will continue really in all segments of the country. Texas, obviously, with the natural growth Texas has, coupled with the oil industry, presents, I think, great opportunities.
Great. Jimmy, we want to thank you so much for joining us today, and hope to see more of you in the future.
Great.
Really
Thanks, Becky. Appreciate you having us on.
We appreciate it. Joe and Melissa, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Becky. We got to go, but send me, how many has Jimmy been to? I just wonder out of the 750. I'd like to visit. They're just cool. Anyway, we will have much more with Becky.
Jimmy, you got an answer?
All but one.
Joe, he said all
one.
but one. And when I just named one, I said there's one in New Jersey. I described kind of where it was. He said, oh, yeah, in Bordentown. He knew exactly.
We just opened one in Lathrop, California. I haven't been to it yet.
That's
Actually, there's
unreal.
a lot right next to her house.
See, that's worth
would
it.
make a terrific location. That's
Worth it right there. Just
Everybody-
I was thinking Alaska would be cool, but people aren't really driving across. That's a destination. It's not really like going somewhere. But think about it. Anyway, we're gonna have much more from Becky Quick and Warren Buffett throughout the hour. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Squawk Box, everybody.